Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back with the second and final semi-final match for RGL Newcomer 6's Season 4. We are very, very close to the end. Tonight we have College War Crimes going up against RGL on Ice to fight for a position in the Grand Finals, and we'll be seeing minus rep in the Grand Finals. So this is bound to be a good one. The last matches have been great. The last semi-final match was great. The match before that, I expect no different for tonight. And I definitely expect no different for the Grand Finals. For tonight's match, I am once again joined by the Dancing Spee, who we saw in the last cast, the first semi-final match. So, Spee, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How about yourself, Derp?
Considering the news I've just gotten, I am over the bloody moon. So, if you look in the title, the big news is really big. The Newcomer Grand Finals, unfortunately, but also fortunately, I will not be casting them on this Twitch channel. Because I will be casting them with Team Fortress TV.
Woo! Yeah!
By some miracle, I'm now on the TFTV team as a caster, which I don't have words. It's just kind of insane. But yeah, without further ado, let's actually talk about tonight's match. I think that's
100%.
important, right?
That is what the people are here for.
Yeah, it is. So, for College War Crimes, yes, I am completely losing train of thought. So for the roster of College War Crimes, we have It's the Ace on Flank Scout, Wagen on Combo Scout, Warpy on Roamer Soldier, Gonk on Pocket Soldier, Pumpkin Pie as Demo, and Aiden as the Medicinal Healer Man. For the side of RGL on Ice, we have Yosemite on Demo, D-Squared on Pocket Soldier, Court on Roamer, Ragu on Scout, the other Scout is Rose, and Medic is Eru. So again, we are bound to be in for a good match tonight. I believe not the last cast, but the cast before was with RGL on Ice. We saw their match to get into the semifinals, and it was a good one. Again, Court bringing out some insane bombs, I believe, and really just all the players of that team really showing up, especially Yosemite. Arrow getting some good... I think there were a few arrow frags as well from him. But, Spee, what do we got for maps tonight?
We got Snake Water. Let me think. Oh, I don't have it pulled up. I'm very unprepared. Oh, God.
Wow. Really goes to show who's the professional one here now.
Yeah, fucking, that's you! I believe that the tiebreakers process, though.
So I guess since I'm professional and I actually have it pulled up,
Yeah.
for our first map, we do indeed have Snakewater, which was picked by College War Crimes. Ooh, this is going to be a little bit of a mix-up. We have Clear Cut, picked by RGL on Ice. And then the Decider map is going to be Product.
Product. Wow. Alright. Excited.
So, with RGL on Ice picking a Koth map, obviously they're very confident with King of the Hill. Maybe more so than College War Crimes, but we'll have to see. So I'm thinking if we go to a map 3, we're probably going to see RGL on Ice take it, but that all depends on which way the first map goes, and then especially which way the second map goes, because I don't even know who's going to win the second map, but I assume it's probably going to be RGL on Ice, considering it is their map pick, but we have seen upsets before.
I will say as well that Product is heavily dependent on how well or how good the medic is on each team, so... I feel like we'll also get some info and making a prediction for that in these 2 maps as well.
Well,
That is, of
maybe
course, if it needs to go to a 3rd map.
maybe not necessarily on how good the medic is, but that is a big part of it. But how good they are at avoiding death,
That's true.
I think,
as
is
well.
probably going to be the most important thing. Because King of the Hill can be a little bit rough for medics, especially product.
Oh yeah.
It's, I mean, Speed, playing this season with your medic, you've probably heard the pain and the wrath of the medic who cannot stay alive.
I experienced it. The first time we played on product, our medic was not able to make it, so I stepped in and played medic. It was not fun.
I believe, I can't remember exactly which match it was, but I was actually, surprisingly enough, watching a TFTV match.
Yeah.
And the medics were just absolutely getting destroyed constantly. Just bombs left, right, and center. Unfortunately, no market gardens, which is something I want to see market gardens, okay? They're just fun. And it's a little bit of salt in the wound.
A little bit, but you know, that just shows that it is Newcomer, and not gonna lie, I still can't get a consistent market gardener. I can barely consistently land near my target.
I mean, I've managed to pull off 5 market gardens onto 1 medic in a single scrim, but...
Weird flex, but
okay. Then again, yeah. Oh, and we have somebody going godlike.
Oh, we do? Someone's on a 20?
Mm-hmm. I play... See, Stocks, the funny thing is... I've never actually played a full season of competitive. I played in the Newcomer Cup in August. I played demo for Team Ice Cream Tech. And then we went in to play the season as a team. I played the very first league match and then got screwed out of a main spot.
Okay, it seems that interesting rollout coming from Pumpkin Pie on College War Crimes. But it seems to have worked out for him since both he and
oh wait, this is the actual fight. Whoops.
Yes, this is the actual fight. You should be casting.
Look at me, who's being professional now.
I just can barely navigate the RGL website. We got a bomb from Werpy, I believe it was, onto Eru, and he gets the pick.
I have no idea what the hell just happened, but RGL on Ice wins the very first mid very, very decisively. And considering this wasn't even their map pick, it is not looking good for College War Crimes.
We got Gonk taking up positions on top of the hut. Everyone, looks like we don't have an off class for this first defense from College War Crimes.
Now, College War Crimes does have about a 20% Uber advantage, but Arrow is currently building with his scout for the side of RGL and Ice, so they're going to be getting fairly soon here. But they are going to be coming into this last push with a little bit of a disadvantage, but you don't want to push while even, or especially not on a disadvantage anyway, and with them taking a position in lobby, it doesn't look like they have any thoughts of backing down anytime soon. Both Rose taking a little bit of damage in lower to Werpy. They definitely don't want to start bleeding players, which would not be good for them to set up for a push. Both teams do now have full Uber.
Both teams just kind of trading a little bit of spam, trying to get a pick. Seems Aiden has taken up the position around the corner, both healing his demo and scout. Oh, it seems that RGL and Ice pushed in through the left door.
It looks like they are actually going to be going in without any sort of advantage, and so far it's working out, only dropping Yosemite, managing to take out 3-4, and completely wiping College War Crimes.
Very good first round from both teams.
you never really expect a last push to go that decisively in one team's favor when they're not pushing in with any sort of advantage. Ubers were even, that no players had been lost from either team when that push happened, and they were able to wipe on it.
Both demos getting to mid at the same time once again. Unfortunately, no one gets any free damage. It seems that
and a bomb coming in from both of the soldiers from RGL and Ice is going to take out Aiden, although they do both get cleaned up by Pumpkin Pie, and it's the Ace respectively. Ragu in deep onto Gonk. That's going to be both of the soldiers that have now died. And it looks like RGL on Ice is not having a great time this mid. With their demo going down, it's only Rose left alive, and he is quickly dispatched by Werpy. Now let me have a little bit of downtime here, just to kind of talk about that last push a little bit more. In the previous semifinal match, we had seen a lot of just throwing yourselves at the point and hoping for it to work, but the way RGL on Ice play that, they play that perfectly. They got high ground, and they just used the explosive damage to their advantage.
Yeah.
Which is what you want. It was a perfectly executed last push, to say the least.
Yeah, and the only thing that really, I feel like on that last push, I feel like College War Crimes was probably just a little too, like, positioned away from the point, because they had 3 of their team members just on the right door, which is right next to the point, but the entire RGL on Ice team were able to either be on the point or right next to it by the time that they were able to react.
I mean, either way, the point didn't get captured until after College War Crimes had been wiped, so it doesn't really matter where they were.
Yeah. But also the reason that, at least from what I saw, Aiden, and I think it was, it's the Ace, I believe it was, died in that was because they just were trying to contest the point, which is fine, but the Uber ran out very quickly.
So it looks like Werpy tried to go in for a sack, and he did exactly that, except he didn't get anything from it. Court was able to take him out. We have Rose over in Burger, a soldier just above who is now fighting D-Squared kind of in upper Saw. Yosemite is trying to make his way, try and pressure through Saw along with the rest of his combo. It's the Ace does get a kill onto Court, so that's going to be one of the soldiers for RGL and Ice down. It's the Ace is now coming in through Burger, duking it out with Rose just a little bit. Looks like we do have an even Uber. Court is still dead, so he's going to be coming up and respawning. Another bomb coming in, and he is quickly dispatched by a nice direct from D-Score, just narrowly able to save Arrow and keep that Uber. Definitely showing confidence in his team, not actually getting forced there. The player advantage is now in favor of RGL and Ice, so they're probably going to be looking to try and push out through Saw with this Uber and just take the Uber exchange with that player advantage.
And that seems to be exactly what they're doing. Region going down, Werpy being able to get D-Squared on Ice. Aiden going down.
Werpy and Gonk getting some nice kills. Gonk actually taking out Eru. Rose is just duking it out with Pumpkin Pie, who manages to die to a sticky. Yosemite is all alone. 1 kill. Can he get the second? No, he can't. He does get dispatched out of lobby by Werpy, and Werpy just essentially falls onto Ragu with a rocket. It's not looking all that great for RGL on Ice right now, as College War Crimes is going to be taking up position on their second and probably pushing into lobby fairly soon here.
I'd say that push from RGL on Ice went very well for College War Crimes in that scenario, since they got a point off of it.
Indeed they did. We do have Court sitting over in drop down right now, who is posing a little bit of an issue, because there isn't really a great angle for him to be spammed out, especially from that demo or anyone. He's just throwing some rockets down, trying to get some chip damage onto the combo, deny crit heals for them getting into this push. As soon as he is pressured, though, he's going to make the smart decision and get out, although he is going to be able to slow down both Werpy and It's the Ace. Though he may
getting picked off, which is the exact thing that College War Crimes was waiting for in order to push in.
Okay, we do have the Uber coming in on the left, or the right side, sorry, but it has now faded. The Uber gets used from Arrow, which is going to quickly dispatch of the rest of these players with 1 pick down, although Arrow, D-Squared, and Court are down. Yosemite as well, this is not looking great for them. It's just Ragu left, he's going to be running back into spawn. And that's going to be a
Not
pretty
fast
good
enough.
round from College War Crimes.
Very good push.
Definitely some very efficient last pushes. These teams definitely know what they're doing. Honestly, just looking at these last pushes, I think they might have a slight advantage over Minus Rep in the Grand Finals, but we'll have to see how that actually plays out. Court getting into Kitchen. I don't know if they saw him. I'm really hoping they did. But they're not sitting at one to dispatch of him now. He's going to be jumping up into upper saw, getting behind the medic. One rocket onto the medic. Not a whole lot of damage, and he's just going to be backing back out. College War Crimes is taking up high ground positions. They do have one of their soldiers kind of in deep towards Saw, but he's quickly dispatched by Rose and Court. D-Squared is...
Sorry, Warp just got a really good air shot on, I believe it was Court.
Quite a long and drawn-out mid there, but the DM of RGL and Ice showing through. They were able to win it in the end. Weejin is the last alive, and he's going to be intercepted by Ragu as he's trying to escape through lobby. It's the Ace bringing out the heavy for this defense. They do have soldiers, specifically Gonk, set up on the tower, who's going to be able to deny this right entrance, gate number 2. Oh, wow, an arrow with about a 70% Uber advantage. I don't know why they're not going in right now.
First off class of the game so far.
Burpee going down to Court as they go to push in. That's not really what you want to see. But they do still have the Uber here, so they could come out on top. 2 picks, 3 picks, although the sticky detonation from Pumpkin Pie is going to completely wipe RGL on Ice. That's unfortunate.
At the beginning of the push, they were doing it great. They like 4 of RGL on Ice were just focusing the heavy, which is great. But they didn't want their spacing, so they just got.
They didn't dispatch of the stickies.
Explosive class.
We do have Court in a little bit of a cheeky spot here. Kind of in the entrance to Saw behind a box. I don't think they see him, and he could maybe get a pick. Onto the medic. He is the roamer of their team, so it kind of makes sense, his positioning. And he's still there, right underneath Gonk. They don't know. And he's showing trigger discipline. He didn't even shoot Wagen, who stood right in front of him. He is really going for this med pick. Probably hoping for his team to kind of bait the combo of College War Crimes into Saw. If it works out, this is going to be really good. And even if it doesn't, he's not really losing anything. His team isn't really losing a whole lot by them being here because the flank isn't being pressured by College War Crimes at all. I'd kind of like to see College War Crimes actually try to send their flank through RGL and Ice's flank, because they should have seen that their soldier isn't there, but they're not trying to do anything with the space that they're given. Which is a little bit unfortunate. They're really just setting up towards this Saw side.
Court's being very patient. I would have jumped already in order to try to get him, not gonna lie.
Well, he's wanting his team to bait out the medic into his sightline. And considering they haven't spotted him yet, I think he is probably going to get it. I just wish College War Crimes would capitalize off the flank being weakened and actually try to send people in through Burger and maybe up through Kitchen. But it doesn't look like that is the case, and Court is still sat there right behind that box. He is the ace up the sleeve of RGL and Ice right now. Oh, and Wagen sees him, he comes out, and he gets... Oh, he doesn't get it. He did get some good rockets onto Aiden, but unfortunately only bringing him down to about 50 HP. Oh, that is really unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
And Werpy getting onto Arrow. He is going to force the Uber. He maybe didn't need to actually use, but it was definitely the smart thing to use there, as you were one rocket away and you were in position to get a rocket. But Yosemite coming in with the bomb. Unfortunately, the Uber does get used from Aiden, so that's not going to amount to anything. Arrow at 72 health, just trying to escape from Wagen, and unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be able to get out. Medic's trying to exchange saws. And it looks like Aiden is going to get the arrow kill onto Arrow.
Hey, and Ragu on ice finds Aiden and just shuts him down.
Court in behind is going to manage to take out Pumpkin Pie, which is going to slow down their push just a little bit, and essentially just make some space and give them a little bit of time to get back to mid and hold Saw once again. Ragu picking up his medic, building straight from the gate. Definitely what you want to see. D-Squared in, getting a nice air shot onto Gonk. Going to be dispatching him from that pipe very quickly. Wagen and their medic just backing out. Pumpkin Pie sticking up the bucket. Definitely a good place to sticky, as they are pretty much invisible unless you're looking straight on. But D-Squared does know they're there and dispatches of them.
Alright, now if Eru on ice has been paying attention to Ubers, he should know he's about 20 to 30% ahead of Aiden. So if they can get Uber and just use it whenever they can, they should be able to get the final point off of a push.
I mean, that is quite a substantial Uber advantage, and they should be able to get it. And they are going in through Shutter here. That sentry gun is going to slow them down a little bit. But with Court coming in from the skies, getting right onto that tower, unfortunately, he is going to get killed by Gong. And this push just barely goes in the way of RGL on ice, just from that scout edging that point.
Both demos doing wonderful at the rollouts again. Honestly, it astounds me. Alright, it seems RGL on ice getting the high ground, but also quickly backing off.
They're also getting
maybe trying to bait college war crimes into getting it, maybe.
They're also getting some early damage. Court does manage to take out Gonk in the left or blue kitchen there. They are aggressing over this point a little bit. Although Warpy is in a position to kind of bomb and go for a play onto the medic. Unfortunately for him, Eru does surf out of the way and manage to live. Court getting out of that with 1 HP. 1 HP warrior.
Talk about calling it close, huh?
Ragu does go down to a sticky trap by Pumpkin Pie, but on the bright side, he's clearing the stickies.
Oh!
Rose coming in from behind.
Coming in behind, but unfortunately getting shut down by Ace.
Court is also behind as well, so they sent in the entire flank. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to get anything on Aiden. I think D-Squared is just trying to make a play, but
D-Squared got the force on Aiden, though.
Oh, he did get the force. He did go down to Wagen shortly after, but he got the force, and that's all they needed. But with Arrow using right now, with only 3 players alive, that's a little bit odd.
I think he got forced as well.
Okay.
Because I don't see the use in using that far away from the point.
I mean, I also don't understand why College War Crimes is backing away from this. RGL and ICE had no player power at all. Most of their team was dead. They were going in with a demo and a scout, and that was it. But once again, we find ourselves on the red last point. Both teams are at very, very even Ubers. So they're going to be getting at the same time, meaning RGL and ICE is going to be trying to find an opening, and by that, they are going to try to get an opening pick. Otherwise, you don't usually want to push on complete even, but they did it the first round and it worked out for them, so you never know. Maybe College War Crimes just didn't expect that, but they are trying to actually retake lobby. They do have the Uber, so they could do it. But with the way they are set up and with how low Aiden is now out of the fight, they're going to have to back out and just regroup on last.
It seems half of RGL on ice is feeling a little bit more comfortable and trying to take up positions in lobby, but quickly get pushed out by Gonk. Gonk going for a bomb onto Eru on ice, but not quite getting the pick. Or the force, unfortunately, for Gonk. Seems RGL is moving into lobby. Seems they're probably going to push very soon. Since College War Crimes is down a player, but Gonk did just respawn, so we'll see if they feel like a push is what they need to do right now or not. And they push and pop Uber.
They were down court. They did lose him very early on, so this may not play out the way they'd wanted. It's just 3 players left alive, and pretty much all of College War Crimes still around. And that's going to be pretty much the full wipe coming out from them.
Ragu's still alive. He's going for the back cap.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
I was thinking Ragu was just a spawner, but he nearly got the back cap. Unfortunately, Pumpkin Pie was there to clean him up. A few well-placed stickies, and he was gone. That was close.
Yeah, I've never thought about someone just hiding behind the truck, because if one of the defenders dies and sees you, you're just done.
Ragu bringing out the sniper. We've definitely seen some insane sniper plays so far in this in the playoffs this season. So maybe he can live up to the hype that's has been sort of surrounding snipers this season.
Court going for the pick on Aiden. Doesn't get the pick, but he does force Aiden to use his Uber.
Seems like they were going to want to use very soon there anyway. Arrow does bring out the counter Uber. As the Uber fades, he is going to get the pick onto Aiden along with Rose, although the sniper is kind of screwing them over a little bit here. They don't really have the power, but Gonk is behind. Gonk is all the way behind them. But he has tapped that second point, so they should know there's a player behind, but it doesn't look like they're paying attention.
Or they just don't care. They're probably just trying to get on to last as
Oh,
fast as
Gonk
possible.
is just, he's not playing this well right now. He probably should have just went through cheese and gotten onto the medic. But he's just leaving his team down in a fight right now. He is going to get in, though.
Jumped.
Go for the pickaxe.
The pick on Eru.
And with it just being D-squared in court against Region, that is going to be the end of the first half. 3-1 in favor of RGL on ice. I think that's the quickest half we've had all playoff season.
I believe so, yeah. Because we have had 3-1 matches as well, but usually there was some tug of war.
Oh, yeah, very much so. That was quite the decisive half. Unless College War Crimes can get back and have some crazy momentum coming into the second half, or gain some crazy momentum, this is definitely looking to be an RGL on ice victory for this map. And then, especially with with King of the Hill favoring DM so much, I have a feeling we're probably not going to see map 3.
Probably not. For people who are wanting to try to see what was going wrong in that match and how College War Crimes can improve, what do you think that College War Crimes is not doing that RGL on ice is?
Really, I'm not seeing any glaring flaws in what CWC is doing. Really, kind of all that's happening right now is just RGL on ice is really out DMing them. There was that first initial push that RGL on ice took where it was completely even everything, and they somehow came on top with that. Usually you don't see that happen because the defending team is usually going to have a better Uber and be able to kill most of the attacking players in the post Uber. We didn't see that happen. Really, RGL on ice just played that really, really well, taking high ground and using their spam classes to their advantage. There was that one moment in that last round where Gonk took a slightly longer route. Instead, he probably should have just jumped in through cheese and gotten straight onto the medic. But other than that, I can't really see anything glaringly wrong that College War Crimes is doing. Oh. Well, that's kind of what's going on. If you saw Court just airshot Gonk and made him sit down on the floor, that's kind of what this match is becoming.
Pretty much, unfortunately.
Kind of just...
I've seen quite a few really good air shots come from Court and Warp.
Another air shot onto Gonk from D squared. Definitely just the DM of RGL and Ice showing through, and I think that's probably why they're taking a majority of these rounds. Another thing I probably would have liked to see is back when Court was sitting behind that crate, there was a huge opening in the kind of, not necessarily defense, but defense of RGL and Ice being their flank. It was very weak, because the soldier is a huge part of that flank for the area denial, right? And they didn't have that. And it didn't seem like College War Crimes was either aware of that opening, or they just didn't want to take advantage of it. They could have set their flank in and probably gotten a pick or at least a force onto Eru. And we just didn't see that. Yosemite not quite hitting the fall damage negation, but it's not really going to matter as that health pack is there. Looks like he is going to be getting some early damage to deny those crit heals for the players of College War Crimes. A bomb being sent in, a double bomb, and Aiden just narrowly escapes with like 20 HP. That's not what you want to see. Throwing away both of your soldiers for nothing. And a good counter bomb coming in from Gonk. Unfortunately, it's not going to amount to anything. He's going to have to try and turn around. And that is going to be the mid for College War Crimes. Eru, Ragu, and Yosemite just trying to get out alive right now. Yosemite hitting a nice pill onto It's the Ace to kind of escape.
Unfortunate Yosemite. He hit an under and he taunted and
got picked up by Wagen.
Yep.
Really, the big thing that went wrong with that mid-fight, Court and D-Square didn't get any picks and they just threw their own lives away.
Unfortunately,
that's the big problem with those deep bombs on mid-fights. Is sure, you have the chance of getting the enemy medic, but you're almost guaranteed to die, and you have to weigh whether it's better to get the medic or fight the mid-fight a player down. It depends on the team you're fighting, but usually I want to say it's better to keep your players alive and actually have that kill power, essentially. In my mind, getting the med pick doesn't really... Oh, Warpy isn't behind, he does get picked up. But as I was saying, in my mind, getting the med pick on mid fights doesn't win you the mid fight. It definitely helps, but you can't win a mid fight without damage classes.
Yeah, I 100% agree. That splash damage from the soldiers is invaluable to mid fights.
Okay, we do have an Uber exchange going in on the mid as kind of a secondary mid-fight here. It's going to be RGL on Ice, probably coming out on top with 3 picks now. They are only down Court 4, and it looks like Pumpkin Pie is probably going to go down to D-Squad here, and it's only going to be Warpy, who's left alive behind them, going in for somewhat of a bomb. Is going to get in onto the medic, and he does take out Eru! Definitely a good play from Warpy there. That's going to be the salvage they needed.
With that pick, that's going to give College War Crimes about a 20 to 25% advantage. Unfortunately, they are on defense right now, so whether they recognize that or not is going to be pivotal in whether they get this round.
Even if they recognize the advantage, when you're defending, and especially on last, it's very, very risky to try and use out with only about like a 30 to 40% advantage, especially when the enemy team is very efficient at building.
Yeah.
Because if you use out and you overextend and you go too far, you're just going to get collapsed on once the other team gets their Ubers. I've won a number of rounds like that. It's a really bad thing to happen, and it's kind of painful. And as I say that, it was only about a 15-second Uber advantage. It has now equalized. And luckily, College War Crimes hasn't actually tried to aggress off of that very minute advantage, which is actually going to put them in a place to be able to hold here, at least for the time being. RGL and Ice currently being up 3-1. This is the first round of the second half. Rose...
Pumpkin Pie getting picked off. That's probably the exact thing that RGL and Ice was waiting for.
Court is in a little bit deeper than the rest of his team. The Uber is going to be coming out. Just Court narrowly dying as he does get flashed by his medic. With 2 picks on both teams, it's still pretty even, but with the ways the soldiers are set up for RGL and Ice, this puts them in a good position to deny that point position. And with It's the Ace being the last person alive, it's just Pumpkin Pie coming back in at the end. Couple saws coming in, Yosemite gets the kill, and RGL and Ice is going to get their 4th round, putting them up 4-1 on map point. RGL and Ice has just shown to be so efficient in these fights.
Seems RGL and Ice is taking the high ground once again. Just shooting spam down onto the enemy medic. Court trying to go in for a bomb of some kind, but just gets shut down by Legion. Warp now taking advantage of that high ground. He's trying to get any splash damage that he can.
Oh, hiccups.
Both
teams are now at 100% Uber. It looks like not RGL and Ice, College War Crimes is going to win that mid fight. Not quite as decisively as it was, pretty much just given up by RGL on Ice. Which honestly I think was the right call. Court in another hiding spot, this time on an awning just above Burger. Oh no. Oh, please get... Oh, and he doesn't get the pick. Oh, frickin' hell, I got hiccups. This is not fun.
Well, stop that.
It's a lot easier said than done.
RGL on Ice trying to just desperately run into lobby in order to try to keep College War Crimes off of their last point.
And it looks like it's going to work as they're about to push them off second as well. Yosemite getting the kill onto Aiden. That's not looking good for College War Crimes. Although Gonk is on to Arrow, he is going to go for the pickaxe, but Arrow gets the saw on him, but he is going to be dispatched by a rocket. Maybe not the right call to run at the soldier.
RGL and Ice trying to regroup in order for a push, waiting on their respawns. It seems that College War Crimes is doing the same thing, but not to the same degree because they do have more of their players alive. College War Crimes currently having about a 30% advantage on RGL on Ice. Just building, hopefully trying to get to full Uber so they can just push right in, and RGL and Ice not able to do anything about it.
Okay, so College War Crimes is just sneaking up on full Uber right now. Arrow is about 20% behind, but they are building very efficiently. So they're going to be getting Uber just about 5 seconds later. Sorry, 12 seconds as the game says. Burpee is, going to go down to Ragu in lower. That is going to be the pick. Oh my gosh. The opening pick that RGL on Ice needs to try and aggress through Saw onto College War Crimes. Looks like that's exactly what they're going to be doing. Uber does get used. Pumpkin Pie is going to get Ubered by Aiden, but with the way College War Crimes is currently set up, a lot of their players are behind. They are now coming back up to the front lines. Gonk did manage to get behind, but he gets quickly dispatched by Court. And with just the scouts left running for the hills, this is going to be a 1 Uber exchange by RGL on ice. Oh, I'll be back. Holy crap.
Yeah, get yourself some water, dude. College War Crimes setting up on second. And it seems that... Who's that? A's taking a peek out from under, trying to get an idea of what RGL on Ice is doing. RGL on Ice pushing in through Saw, using right into the enemy team and just not even taking a second look at the point, just going for the kills. D-Squared getting the pick on Ace as he's trying to run back. They get the second point and just absolutely collapse on the last, thus giving RGL on Ice the first map. Seems that it'll be a little bit before we move on to the next map. The teams need to work something out. I'm trying to find the link for these logs so I can at least tell you guys about it. But since Dirt is not here right now, I will only be able to do just that, tell you about it.
Oh, did it end?
Yeah, RGL and Ice just absolutely snowballed onto College War Crimes and took the map.
So, RGL and Ice wins map 1! Oh, everything is going wrong!
So it would appear.
Hiccups, sneezing, what's next? A tornado?
Hey, don't push your luck.
After getting the news I did today, obviously I can't have a good cast, because that would be that wouldn't be fair, right?
That's just not allowed. Not allowed.
So, RGL and Ice just absolutely demolishing there. That's really all that can be said for that match. If we take a look at the bracket, RGL and Ice won their first match against the Bad Touch 2-0. They then won their second against Zed, which was another one of the matches I casted, 2-1. For College War Crimes, they beat the Pitbulls 2-0, and they also beat Crunch Time in the quarterfinals 2-0 as well. So then, in terms of positioning, RGL on Ice is currently in 6th place, while College War Crimes is in 14th. So I guess that maybe kind of explains things a little bit. But on the other hand, it shouldn't be this definitive.
Very much so.
Like, sure, I know RGL on Ice is a great team. They have some insane players. But it shouldn't be this definitive for a semifinal match. That just seems a bit odd. I don't know. Maybe things will change for College War Crimes on a clear cut. But I believe it was Ice's map pick, so I'm thinking it might just be more of the same.
Only one way to find out.
Indeed there is, and that's to just end the stream and forget about the cast, right? No, that's to stick around and watch the match and actually see who ends up coming out on top.
Indeed. Waters and pretzels? Has Aru gotten himself some waters and pretzels?
It seems like he has.
Oh, bruh, I'm a little jealous of Aru right now. He's powering up.
I mean, I got the water, but I want pretzels now.
I agree.
But, okay.
I have my gallon of water.
Have you ever had, so obviously I assume you've had, like, the small pretzels that you get in the bags, right?
Yeah.
But have you had, like, the big bread pretzels?
They're so good.
They
Have you ever
are.
had them with, like, melted cheese as well? It's
Dude,
incredibly
really?
unhealthy for you, but it tastes so good.
Really?
Usually you're able to find them at, like, fairs or anything.
You know that I can't have cheese, right?
I did not know that you can't have cheese.
I've told you this before.
Oh, I've forgotten. I've slept since then.
Anytime I sleep, my memory just completely leaves me. I don't have amnesia. It's just when I sleep, I lose my memory. Warpy hitting some nice skip jumps over the point there. Oh, he's got a Marky Gardner. Oh, my face just lit up when I saw the Marky Gardner come out.
Every single one of Derp's possible dreams have just been realized.
Arrow, beware, because that shovel is coming for your face. They can't see, SB.
Oh, it makes me sad.
Also, we are currently in the past. They are doing this 3 minutes in the future.
Really?
Yep, because STV is a 3-minute delay.
So, we got the 3-minute delay from STV and then your stream delay.
I don't have a stream delay.
Last time you did.
Okay, maybe like a second, but that's just bandwidth time.
More of like 2 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe your internet is just bad.
Probably. I am the person who lags all the time in Newcomer.
Yeah, that is true. So, for those of you just joining us, this is currently map 2 of the 3-map semi-final series against College War Crimes versus RGL on Ice. RGL on Ice did take the first map at being Snakewater, what was it, 5-1?
It was, yes, 5-1.
Which is the most decisive win we have seen so far in matches that I've casted. Not just in terms of score, but in terms of team performance as well. Pumpkin Pie doing a little bit weird of a roll-up, but he is going to get to mid before Yosemite. A big bomb coming in from court, and it looks like he is just going to be behind them for the foreseeable future, and I don't even know if they... No, he's there.
God, Aru!
Court does come in from behind to take out Werpy. D-scored onto Gonk. Court is going to get onto Pumpkin Pie, and Court coming in again to take out Aiden. He is going to go down to Wagen, though, but he's going to be the last one alive for his team. Aru did die as well on that mid, though.
Yeah. So, Ubers are even. Even though the College War Crimes got totally team wiped.
I did not see what happened there to Arrow.
Gonk just kind of jumped around the tower and landed on him.
Okay.
Can't argue with results, really. It's a good
No,
method.
you can't. And Gonk going, sorry, that was Warpy going in deep again. Gonk coming in a little bit later isn't actually going to get any picks. It's the Ace is going to get forced off of the blue roof by D Squared. Gonk is going to go, or take out Ragu. I believe he did also go down as well trading, but RGL on Ice is going to be backing off of the point. They did get a little bit of cap time, almost a minute off, not quite, so they do have a little bit of time to work with. They're just going to regroup and then hopefully push back in with this Uber. It is going to be an even Uber exchange, though, so we'll have to see how this goes for RGL on Ice. Hopefully their slightly better DM may carry them.
Both Ubers coming out in the mid-fight. Well, not the mid-fight, but as RGL
Pumpkin
on
Pie
Ice
is going
trying
to get a
regroup
triple
the
there,
point.
and with Warpy coming in onto air, that's going to be another team wipe, but this time in favor of College War Crimes. And Aiden hitting the Yeti taunt on the point.
Gotta throw a little BM their way. Keep the competition healthy. You know?
Looks like Warpy's probably going to go down here as he's pressured by both Core and one of the RGL and Ice scouts. They are just setting up here to try and maybe push out again. They are at about a 20% disad, though, so they're not really going to be able to push. But
bomb.
their soldiers do double bomb and get into tower. They do take out Aiden in garage, so it looks like they did go for the quad sack. Which is definitely a smart way to do it, and it was extremely successful. Not just getting the medic down, but 3 other players as well. Pumpkin Pie is still on the point, putting some stickies on the crate. Hopefully the players of RGL and Ice are aware of that and don't just walk in and kind of die. College War Crimes is going to be forced to back up, though. A little bit of damage onto Aiden is just going to tickle his feet just a little bit. Pick onto onto Pumpkin Pie from D Squared. Court then gets traded out, though, by It's the Ace, who then gets picked up by D Squared again, and it looks like D Squared is probably going to have some good DPM numbers for this round, or this half, sorry. Ragu getting in onto Gonk, and that is going to be the point in favor and full control of RGL and Ice. They are at a 1-minute disadvantage, though, with the current cap time. But they do have the Uber, so they are going to be able to hold this for at least another 30 seconds, if not, and hopefully the whole 2 minutes.
Uber's evening out just now.
And with that even Uber, the Uber's going to come in from College War Crimes, going to get counterpopped on by Eru. And with the way this is going, as long as D Squared is able to clean up those 2 players behind, this is going to be a full wipe in favor of RGL on Ice. Minus Warpy, who I believe was just a spawner.
Yep. Warp is just throwing in some spam. Seems he might be trying to jump in, though, but I don't recommend it. No, he's going back to his team.
We are probably, and hopefully, going to be seeing a quad sack coming in from College War Crimes, because they are at quite a big Uber disadvantage. With Arrow sneaking up on 70% and Aiden quite a ways behind, only just now getting to 40. Who is
and
dead to
getting
court.
back to 0. Unfortunate.
And some well-placed stickies from Yosemite is going to dispatch of Gonk before he's able to do anything. Wagen and Warpy are in, though, but Wagen going down to D Squared, who was also then going to pick up Warpy. Pumpkin Pie is at 50 HP on the point. He is not for this world, though. The Uber does get used from Arrow, I think primarily to save Yosemite, but it's not really going to be that much of a loss, because they're just going to come out of this with even Ubers. I honestly would have liked to see the quad sack coming from College War Crimes there.
Yeah, I feel like if they got the quad sack, would have definitely changed the way things went. And they're trying to push onto the point right now.
But with it just being it's the ace left, he doesn't seem to have an ace up his sleeve, and that's going to be the first round of the second map. 1-0 in favor of RGL on ice. Yeah. I'm thinking they may not have went for a quad sack because of time or lack thereof.
That's what I'm thinking as well.
But I think the quad sack was really their only chance of actually winning there.
Yosemite getting a little bit of early damage onto...
Wagen is going to go in deep to try and get Yosemite. Gonk goes in as well, does manage to pick up Rose, but quickly gets traded out by Reku. Wagen manages to take out Yosemite. Aiden goes down to Court, though, who then quickly goes down to It's the Ace, but looks like Eru is going to die here as well.
You hate to see it. I can feel with how D squared might be feeling right now as the pocket soldier.
That's just
or
a little
the soldier put into the care of the medic.
Honestly, that's just a good salvage play there coming in from Wagen. Or It's the Ace. I think it was It's the Ace. Unfortunately for RGL on ice, I think they should have backed out a little bit sooner. Court did go in and he did get the med pick, but in the process, he threw himself away and just died. And having more bodies, again, in my mind, is more important than actually getting the med pick on mid fights.
That's true. Because they can just build, and as we're able to see, Eru did die after Aiden, but he is still ahead by 15% Uber charge.
D-Square did go in for a bomb onto Aiden, but Pumpkin Pie showing some good game sense here and having sticky traps in place and deading as soon as that first rocket from Aiden, or not from Aiden, from
D-Squared.
From D-Squared came in. I'm getting a little bit scatterbrained here. I got a lot of things going on.
Seems that RGL on ice is starting to push through mid. Both teams having Uber. RGL on ice pops first, and then Aiden pops immediately after.
Gonk is going to get 2 picks onto D-Squared and Yosemite, 2 very influential picks, which is going to force the players of RGL on ice that are last alive to run for the hills. Just try to go and build up their Uber. They didn't get the medic, though, for either team, so we're probably not going to be seeing any quad sacks come in. We might see a sack from Court or D-Square. They've been doing that a lot. Sometimes it's been paying off, and other times they've kind of just been throwing their life away. I'd kind of like to see Court be a little bit more passive. Same with D-Squared as well. And I say that as he goes in for a bomb. He is going to get 1 rocket onto the medic.
And Aiden goes down.
He is going to get the medic. The quad sack worked. But I think Pumpkin Pie got a quad kill there with those stickies, or at the very least a triple. Who then promptly kills himself with a sticky. He wasn't able to save his medic, so he took himself out by the same fate his medic did. Explosives.
Explosives. But unfortunately with that, RGL on ice just pretty much has to just walk onto the point.
This is bad for them, though. It's looking really good, but It's the Ace is behind, and he is a good shot, so they really need to dispatch of him. Otherwise, Eru is not going to be long for this world. He is just waiting for his opportunity, maybe for a bomb or a sack to come in for a distraction, so he can actually get in and clean up on the damage of the soldier.
Waiting the strike.
Kind of like Court was.
Ace making his move, getting on top of Eru.
Wurpy is coming in as well, and that is the perfect distraction play. Definitely very well executed there from It's the Ace and Wurpy as well. Splitting the attention and focus of the enemies and able to come in together simultaneously to clean up on each other's damage. Very well played from College War Crimes.
College War Crimes getting onto the point. RGL on ice not really there at all in order to save it.
Although Regu trying to get in, unfortunately he is going to eat a pipe from Pumpkin Pie and go down. Gonk just barely escaping as the players of RGL and Ice are coming through that main choke point.
D squared getting the high ground and just absolutely taking out Ace, but losing that high ground and gets cleaned up.
Unless
Regu on Ice trying to save it, anything that he can do, but gets quickly denied by
Quite a decisive round there from College War Crimes. Definitely a lot more decisive than that first round was, so they're definitely showing that they're not out of this yet. And hopefully they're going to be able to gain some momentum here from that win and carry this on into winning this map and take us on to map 3. Warpy is high in the sky. He is going to go down to the scouts. Rose does go down to Gonk, though. Waging on to Court. Gonk then also takes out Aru as well. That's going to be the medic for RGL and Ice dead. Unfortunately, Aiden is also dead as well. Aru is going to be respawning first, giving them a slight Uber advantage. But I really don't think that's worth it for probably about the minute or so that College War Crimes is going to get off the clock.
Bonus ducks.
RGL on Ice making their move, not going with a 4-man push, just doing a full team push. It seems like it pays off because College War Crimes immediately turns around and runs.
Aru surfing that rocket from Warpy, living with 40 HP, and having his scout manage to come in and do the last bit of damage to clean up to kill that soldier and save his life. And just like that, is going to be RGL and Ice in control of the point. Yosemite getting these defensive stickies set up very early to try and protect his bed. Aru does now have full Uber, sitting at about 40% advantage, but looks like they are going to be coming in for a quad sack. The demo goes down, Gonk goes down as well to those pre-play stickies, and it's the ace. He does get a meat shot onto Aru, but he is quickly dispatched by a well-placed rocket from D squared, and that's going to be the quad sack. What's the word? Words are escaping me. The quad sack denied, essentially.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they just got totally shut down with any attempt they had. The entirety of RGL and Ice just immediately collapsed on them.
Not just good DM from RGL on Ice saving them there, but good game sense as well from Yosemite with those pre-play stickies. The early force is going to come out. Unfortunately, Court is going to die to his own rocket after taking a ton of damage from Wagen. Pumpkin Pie is low health as well, but with the rest of his team collapsing, it is going to keep him alive just a little bit longer. The Uber did just fade for Aru and RGL on Ice, but with Warpy in behind, he is going to take out Aru and manage to live. Please hit this market garden. Yosemite is going to hit a nice air pipe onto Warpy, keeping him alive. And that is going to be the pick they need to hold this point. Court going in, he could get Gonk, or he is just going to die to the 2 scouts and to the soldier. Aiden did die there, so that's going to put Aru at about a 3% advantage, not even. As it looks like Aiden is building slightly faster. We're sitting at about 40 seconds left on the clock for RGL and Ice. As College War Crimes is looking like they're wanting to do a push. They have about half cap time right now. Yosemite and D squared are going to go down to Pumpkin Pie and Gonk, respectively. Aru does get a kill onto Gonk with the crossbow, though. Court gets in onto the point. Aiden is sitting at very, very low health, but he is going to go down to It's the Ace. And that's going to be the end of that sack attempt.
Aru now having full Uber, having about 20% advantage on top of Aiden. Looks like they recognize that and get the pick on Aiden.
The Uber is coming in with Pumpkin Pie, Gonk, It's the Ace, and Aiden being dead. This is looking like, unless Warpy can salvage this. Oh, the surf's coming out from Eru, but he is going to die to Warpy. Unfortunately, all that it really is just a salvage play to try and salvage from a bad situation with only 20 seconds left on the clock for RGL on ice. Unless College War Crimes is able to pull this out of a hat, pull a rabbit out of a hat in this case, which it seems like they are going to be able to. This could be the round. D-Squared is going in behind. He is going to go down. It's the ace. Wagen does get the kill onto Rose, and they are going to get the capture with 2 seconds left on the clock for RGL on ice. And I have just been informed for the 3rd time in a row, it is Aru, not Aru. I do my best to pronounce names correctly, but don't get mad at me if I butcher names. That's not my job. A nice quad sack coming in from college, or not from College War Crimes, from...
Unfortunately,
Oh, it is Aru.
It is Aru?
Okay, I did read it wrong. I guess English ain't my strong suit.
I guess so. But it does unfortunately seem that RGL on the Ice's 4-man push did not go as great as they would have hoped.
Although both teams do have even Uber here, and as long as Warpy is able to be dispatched and not attract too much attention from RGL and Ice, with 3 picks now, not losing anybody, they should be able to wipe College War Crimes and take this round. It's just Warpy left alive. He does go down. Wagen and It's the Ace are not really in a position to contest this point, and that is going to be the 2nd round and the end of the half for RGL and Ice in favor, favoring the map currently 2-1. Definitely not quite as decisive there. College War Crimes definitely being able to put up a much better fight on King of the Hill.
Take a look at these logs. Let's see, we got Ragu coming in with 25 kills on Scout. D-Squared coming in with 22. 4,500 damage from Ragu and 261 DPM, but Court taking this #1 spot for DPM. Oh, never mind, #2 spot for DPM with 280, only getting beaten out by Pumpkin Pie. It seems that, is it Aru or Aru?
Aru.
Aru? Seems that Aru got Uber about 3 or so more times than Aiden did.
No, it's not Aru, it's Aru. At least that's what people are telling me. Looks like we are going to be getting underway with the 2nd half very shortly here. Once again, RGL on Ice is currently leading the series 1-0, as they did take the first map, being Snakewater 5-1, a very decisive victory. Which is kind of surprising considering a lot of these playoff matches we've seen, even though the scores may seem very decisive, the matches themselves were very, very back and forth, and this first map, unfortunately, it was not that case. It was not the case for it. Although College War Crimes definitely putting up a much, much better fight on map 2, and hopefully we can take it to, or they can take it to a map 3. This is the 2nd semifinal match, so the winner of this match will be going up against Minus Rep in the grand finals of Newcomer Season 4.
3, 2, 1.
Yosemite being the 2nd demo to point doesn't get any damage in, but it seems that Court was able to jump behind College War Crimes. They get the pick on Aiden early. All that RGL and Ice has to do now is protect their med.
Point is being captured.
And they have a total Uber advantage. Ragu having a 1v1 with Werp, and unfortunately he gets cleaned up by Werp, giving Werp the opportunity.
Oh,
to get the
please,
med,
no,
and
he
gets
gets it!
Control point.
Werpy. Wow. Aru was sitting at 80% Uber there.
You hate to see
And
it.
being down their med, that's going to be the perfect opportunity for College War Crimes to push back in and take over the point again. With Gonk getting the pick onto course, that's just going to further enforce the idea to go in now and capture that point. With ×4, ×6 on the cap, they are going to get it, and their clock is going to start ticking down as well.
It seems that Ace is gonna try to get a nice little just drop onto somebody, but Court notices him and just rejects him the opportunity.
We are getting a bomb coming in from Court, going in deep. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get anything. Werpy is in behind as well, doing a little bit of a role reversal here. D-Squared is going to get the kill onto It's the Ace on the roof. He is very low health, but he's running to the health pack. Gonk is going to die, but he does get the kill on Aru. No. Aru is feeling some pain here. Unfortunately for Gonk, his team is also going to get wiped. So the cleanup coming in from the players of RGL and Ice showing that they don't need no medic to be a good team. Although a medic does help immensely.
Oh yeah. College War Crimes looking like they're just gonna straight up push without building whatsoever.
It's the Ace is up on this left side of the map. I don't think they know he's here. He did shoot a couple, or throw a couple pellets the way of those soldiers. He's going to be coming in with the soldier. Unfortunately, he is going to go down to Yosemite. Werpy is bombing in as well, getting D-Squared. He's going to go down to Ragu, but Gonk is going to take out Court. I think Pumpkin Pie just hit a little bit of a taunt there. Maybe not the best time to do so.
Gong trying to go for just anything.
The Scouts doing such a good job here.
Ace trying to go for the same thing about Gong, but unfortunately meets the exact same fate.
The Uber is going to get used, but with how well these players are collapsing, and especially how deep Yosemite has went, unfortunately he does die though. The players of College War Crimes are possibly going to die. Unfortunately, Aiden is the only one that does die. Aru, sorry. Being able to surf away there and stay alive. Gonk does take himself out. Pumpkin Pie gets Rose and a nice air pipe onto Court to sit him down. It's the Ace coming in from behind, though. This could be really bad for Aru, and he is going to go down, so I was correct. Although it looks like Werpy was the one to take him out. These medics are not having a great time.
Mission ends in 30 seconds.
And I thought product was bad. My goodness.
Turns out any map when you have 2 or 4 good soldiers is bad.
Secure the control point.
That's true.
And speaking of good soldiers, Court is going to take out Aiden as well.
Alert. Our control point is being captured.
And it looks like
College War
RGL and
Crimes.
Ice is hopefully going to be taking control of this point very shortly. Both the soldiers, Gog and Werpy, going down. Werpy did manage to take out Yosemite, which is going to be a little bit of area denial gone for RGL on Ice. Although with both of their soldiers down, we are currently sitting at 2-2 for player picks, but it's the Ace again coming in from behind and getting Aru.
Ragu being left on his own in order to fight Aiden and Wagen, but Unfortunately, he just couldn't get enough shots out before Wager just cleans him up.
We are going to be seeing a 4-man sack come in from RGL on ice, and as we've seen many, many times before, it is going to be extremely successful. But in this case, it looks like it was actually only a 2-man, both of the soldiers going in together. Now it is just up to the players of RGL on ice to keep their medic alive. And with 4 players being dead on the side of College War Crimes, make that 5, make that 6, I don't think that's going to be an issue for them.
And with that push, I think that's the round.
They have about 15 seconds left on the clock. Aru is very close to getting Uber. I don't really think that College War Crimes is going to be able to muster up much. And this should put RGL on ice on match point. And with that Uber coming out, that's just going to seal the deal for RGL on ice. They're currently up 3-1 on this second map, and they are on match point in good position to take the series 2-0. Pumpkin Pie waiting a little bit for an arrow, and once again, Court is all the way in behind. I think he kind of needs to stop doing this. Although, it looks like he is not even going to get the medic. He's just going to throw his own life away, but his team is able to fend for themselves pretty well without him getting 2 picks. So they aren't going to be at a player disadvantage here. Yosemite getting a kill onto his fellow demo man. Getting launched into the air by Werpy, and some good surfs coming out from Aru to keep himself alive.
College War Crimes not even really bothering with a 4-man push. Seems they're almost having Uber, so they're just gonna dry push and pop it whenever they get it.
I mean, there's no reason to 4-man sack. You only 4-man sack once you've lost your med.
That's true.
Looks like Gonk is going to force the Uber maybe a little bit sooner than they would have liked. He has a 14 HP, is going to get cleaned up by Ragu, but with 2 players also going down, Court and Rose, this isn't looking good for them. Aru is going to go down to Werpy, although D-Square does manage to trade medics as well, taking out Aiden. And once again, RGL on ice, even in the face of death, is able to come out on top without their medics and keep the players alive and manage to take out more than their enemy. Definitely some impressive stuff coming out from RGL on ice.
Alert. The control point is being captured.
Gonk trying to go for a sack on Aru. I'm very confused on how to say it properly. Aru?
Like you're going, Ru.
Gonk trying to go for a sack on Aru and just getting cleaned up.
Well, it's the Ace is going to get the big shot.
Ace continues Gonk's legacy and cleans it up for him, though.
He is also going to get Ragu as well. It looks like we are going to have a bomb coming in from D-Squared. Unfortunately for him, Aiden is able to get out of the fray quickly enough, and his scouts are doing a wonderful job keeping players off of him and keeping him alive. The scouts of both teams definitely just doing a great job on King of the Hill, playing that pocket role as you need to for scouts with Koth. Koth is one of the only... it's different in the case that you want to keep both of your scouts as pocket scouts because your soldiers both pretty much play a roam or going for that enemy medic. And as I say that, it looks like D-Squared is going to be going in for a little bit of a bomb, getting 1 rocket onto Pumpkin Pie, and probably going to be dying very soon here. Both D-Squared, Court, and Rose down as well, although Aiden did go down, probably to Court with that first bomb. I don't know, it could have been Rose that took him out as well.
Gonk trying to get a pick off and just getting absolutely denied by Ragu, excuse me.
These College War Crime players do have the high ground here, but with the Uber coming out from Aru, it's going to send these players running for the hills. Court does go in deep, and the rest of his team is coming in to support him as well. Waging is going to die here to D-Squared, and maybe Gonk will die as well. What is Gonk gonna do? He's just going to kind of back off and maybe set up for a 4-man
yeah.
sack.
He's just gonna shoot a rocket and then go back to his team.
Just set up for a 4-man sack. Probably the smart play there. They are sitting at about a 30% or 30 to 40% disadvantage here, but hopefully they're not actually going to go for a 4-man sack here. A little odd. We're sitting at very low health. The players of RGL and Ice are very healthy, and with Court going in for another bomb, I think he probably is going to be able to get it. It is at 30 HP, please. I really hope he dies. If he doesn't, that's going to be really unfortunate for Court.
It doesn't look like anybody on RGL on Ice who's aware.
I mean, Aru does have Uber, so Aiden is probably going to die at some point over the course of this Uber.
Just launching himself over to Aiden and just finishing him off.
As I said, and with that last pick onto It's the Ace from Court, it's just Wagen left alive, and he's going to go down to Ragu. Unfortunately, Yosemite gets killed by Pumpkin Pie, but they are still going to have the player advantage, being up 2 picks. Having 30 seconds on the clock, roughly 40 seconds for both teams, it's really going to be an all-out fight, and basically to see who can keep their medic alive the longest and who can keep their Uber up. Both Pumpkin Pie getting some really good spam into the blue garage. It's not looking good for them. Ragu does go down to It's the Ace, though. Court does get Aiden again! And the Uber is going to come out from Aru, and that might be the round sealed here. And actually, not just the round, but potentially the entire series for this semifinal matchup.
And with Ace, I think, yeah, I think the remnants of a comeback for this round are...
They could potentially take this. They do have 21 seconds left on the clock. They don't have to hold for very long. But with the way these picks are shaping up, both Gonk and Werpy dead, then with Yosemite still alive, and now Aiden dead again. Yeah, that's gonna be the series there.
Yep. I feel like College War Crimes could have definitely gotten the point on that last push, but all of them either didn't go far enough onto the point, or in the case of Gonk that I can remember, he just jumped past it trying to get a pick.
So, a little bit of a shout out to Stock69, who did predict this correctly, thinking RGL and Ice was going to take it. We did kind of say that we thought RGL and Ice was going to take it as well, but on a map 3. I didn't think the match would be this decisive. I believe they took this map 4-1 as well.
Yes.
Which is essentially, not quite, but essentially the same scoreline as map 1, only allowing College War Crimes to get a singular round onto them. Definitely some good stuff from RGL on Ice. For the College War Crimes players, they definitely can't be disappointed either, though, because they did make it all the way through the entire season and then make it this far into the playoffs. So they definitely need to give themselves a pat on the back as well. And my bet is they learned a hell of a lot along the way, and that's really what Newcomer is about. Learning the game and having fun are the 2 pillars of Newcomer, in my opinion.
I agree, because Newcomer, everyone's a newcomer at some point. And that's really where you're just testing out the waters, and nobody's good at competitive right off the bat. You gotta at least learn how things work for 1 or 2 games.
Yeah, and definitely these players have come a long way, and with all of these players, all of the people who have not only even just made it to the playoffs, but all of the teams, period. This is the future of TF2 competitive, at least the future of RGL. And I can safely say that it's a bright one. But with how decisively RGL on Ice won that match, I think they're going to fare very well in the Grand Finals against Minus Rep. Which, speaking about the Grand Finals, that brings me to the big news I have. So, when I had started casting matches, I always hoped word about me and what I'm doing here got around, or would get around, but I never actually thought it would. Turns out, word about me has actually gotten around to certain people. Those certain people being members of the Team Fortress TV team. And with that, they seem to like what I'm doing, and I guess it's kind of official. I guess you could say it is. I am now a caster with Team Fortress TV, and I will be casting the Newcomer Grand Finals with TFTV on their Twitch channel, I assume. So that is the big news. With this semi-final match just ending now, we don't actually know when the match is going to be scheduled for. If you want to know and be some of the first people to hear about it, join my Discord server, the Derpcast's Discord. Hold on, let's see if I can actually type. The Derpcast Discord, you'll find a bunch of players here. Basically just players from all across Newcomer, different teams of matches I've casted, even a few people that are just viewers interested in the streams. It is the best way to hear about when casts and other streams as well are going live. Thank you, I appreciate that. But as I was saying, it'll be the best way of being notified when casts are going live. A good way to get in contact with me and maybe other players in Newcomer as well. Build some friendships, some relationships, whatnot. Basically, it's a community that I'm trying to build and have been building sort of since the beginning of the season. If you're interested in what I am doing here and what I've done in the past, I've casted matches leading all the way back to week 2 of this season. You can head over to the link in chat right now. It's a YouTube playlist containing every single Derpcast VOD, and it will be there forever, unlike on Twitch. So, with all of that being out of the way, really the last thing I have to say is just thank you. Thank you for making this a reality. For, I guess, spreading the word about me, considering I've now made it onto TFTV. So, yeah, just thank you. First it was actually making it to affiliate on Twitch, and now I'm actually going somewhere with casting, so yeah, there's not really a whole lot else to be said. Other than that, I hope y'all enjoyed the show, and I hope to see you for the Newcomer Season 4 Grand Finals over on TFTV. I know I'm excited. A little bit nervous as well, but excited nonetheless. Either way, with everything out of the way, I hope all of y'all have a great night.